Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachiko. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
The Senior Citizens Grant under the Social Assistance Grants for Empowerment SAGE program is Uganda's social protection flagship program, providing regular, predictable, and reliable direct income support to older persons. Since inception in 2010, the SAGE program has positively impacted beneficiaries' livelihoods, contributing to the overall national socio-economic transformation. The government of Uganda has continued to fulfill its commitment to the expansion and sustainability of the SAGE program, ensuring income security, dignity, and improved basic standard of living for older persons in all local governments across the country.
This hospital Naruogo Kasale Village Gombolola Magada Munamutumba. Chairman w'ekyalo yeyambuulira nti bagenda okubawa ensimbi ez'abakadde. Omanyi olw'obukadde bwange sijjukira ddi lwe natandika naye ebbanga liwezeeko nga nzifuna kumpi emirundi ng'ena guno gwakuna. Mbadde neebalamu embuzi 2 naye olwaleero wano wenjogerera ziri 4 kubanga olwaleero emu gye nasooka okugula ezadde 2 yinza okufunamu ente. Naali agadde ku nnyumba yange okwongerako akasenge. Njagala okwebaza Museveni emirundi mingiko. Kale olwaleero nno nina embuzi 4 okuva mu ssente Museveni zampa. Okulya ndya ninywa sibulwa sukaali n'amajaani n'amata. Amata ga buli lunaku ngafuna wano gama 2 ekyeggulo bwe ntyo.
This is a message from Expanding Social Protection, ESP, implementing the program under the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. ESP, better life chances for all.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning to you on this 27th day of January 2025, a day that allows Ugandans to go vote for their sub-county leaders. On the 15th of January, Ugandans voted for their president as well as their members of parliament. And on the 22nd day, which was last week, Ugandans voted for their local council 5 leaders, that is at the district level. And now today it's voting leaders at the sub-county level. Are you planning to attend? We want to look at the insight of it. Shall the voter turnout be the same as the LC5, or shall it be different? Do people know who they're even voting for? Do people know that these elections are actually there for them to take part of, to be part of them? Does the public know that these elections are as important, or they're not as important in the perspective of the public? It's a conversation that we're delving deep into. We'll be also hearing from reporters, our field reporters, especially from upcountry, to tell us what the experience is like as it is. It's now 9 minutes after 7 a.m. You'd expect that voting has started. It's the official time for voting to start. And you'd expect that indeed the voting exercise has started as it ought to be. So we'll be checking on them to see what is going on that side. If polling officials have actually reported the polling stations on time and everything in the detail of that regard. Be part of the conversation. 0709 602 592. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. I am with Robert Chirabonyonyintono and John Murunji for us to chew on this conversation. And a little later on, of course, in line with the same conversation, Learn and Learn and Relearn will be having experts, election experts, to speak into the same matter. Do these elections anyways matter? Yes, let's learn and learn and relearn. John, I'll start with you. And just to find out from you, in your perspective, do you think sub-county leaders matter?
Definitely they do. Because these are the leaders that are directly involved with the development of a community or the running of a community. And it's really absurd that people have not embraced the election of their local leaders at all these other local government structure-leveled leaderships. And of course, these leaders, if you do not go out there to vote, people are likely to choose leaders that are not of substance. Recently, Honorable Mike Sevelu mentioned something that caught my eye. He was like, the leader you want may not be the leader you need.
That's profound. And from that particular point, it's where we'll begin. But for now, let's first hear from Kaguta, who is in Kasese. Good morning, Kaguta.
Good morning, Judy and Chilabo. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And you're speaking to Joan, Julie, and Robert here on Good Morning Uganda.
Right. My name is Joel Kagota, like you really mentioned.
Right.
Right now, I'm in the Kasese town, where we are also taking part in the election, like in other more municipalities across the country. And of course, if I can really give you a simple background about Kasese municipality, we were actually granted this status in 2009, and of course it became operational in 2011, and we first really had our first mayor, that's really the current Minister of State for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga Baloku, who actually held that mantle for 2 terms, and in 2021 he was actually exited by a musician turned politician called Charles Kahendo, who is still at the helm. And in today's election, he's also taking part. We are on the FDC ticket with other party flag bearers, that's really National Resistance Movement, which presented Miss Kateva Jole Masika, and of course the National Unity Platform also fronted someone called Jackie Wenge, and then the People's Front for Freedom, PFF, also chose Mr. Zaidi Muhendo Kesoke. So these are 4 people that are really taking part in today's exercise of selecting a person who is really going to lead the political affairs of Kasese municipality with 18 parishes, including Nyakabengo 3 ward, Kyanzuchi ward, Katiri ward, Namhuga ward, Nairwe ward, Kirembe ward, Eskambu ward, Kamaiba ward, Nyakabengo 2 ward, the Town Center ward, Kihara ward, Kanyangeya ward, Nyakasanga 1 ward, Nyakasanga 2 ward, Rukoki ward, Skim ward, Kisanga ward, and then finally Nyakasanga 3 ward.
All right.
In the 2021 elections, we had only 83 polling stations, but the number increased to 136 polling stations, and of course that also affected the number of registered voters. Currently, we have more than 60,000 people who are really going to exercise the right to have another state of leaders who will be the mayor.
All right. Joel, with how you speak about the structure, the municipal structure of Kasese, you indeed build relevance and build importance when you speak about it, and one would think of how important what you're talking about is. But on ground, with what you see right where you are in Kasese, are these leaders at the sub-county level relevant? Now, I'm not asking out of ignorance, but I'm asking for you to make us understand how important these leaders are, because many a times Ugandans tend to brush these leaders away or even taking part in this electoral process. But from the picture that you paint, we feel the weight of their importance. But do let us know what really the importance is and the relevance.
You see, Julie, and the rest of the members who are really in the studios, and maybe the viewers, you're really asking a very fundamental question. I know because of the voter apathy that we have actually expressed in the past election, one would not really want to go and really cast, partly because maybe the person is not really seeing a value of her vote for that specific position. But you know, I know there are a couple of policies, a couple of regulations that are being drafted at the national level. But when it comes to the lower sub-county, these are people now who beneficializes these. But also in terms of allocating resources, where, to who. Now these are the leaders who are really at the center stage of that. So if you don't really have a person who can really define the schools you want your children to go to, if you don't really have a leader who can really look at the health status of his or her people, if you don't really have a leader who can really see how the revenue base is really being enhanced, you are not losing it at the lower government where we are. Now, the past 2 elections have actually been a challenge, especially for Kasese, which has been a main opposition stronghold. People who were really participating on the opposition side didn't make it in the presidential and then of course the parliamentary and then the local 5 elections. So that alone seems to have really affected today's elections. Because yesterday I was really moving around and people had different versions. There were those who are really saying, even if we go and vote, we might not really also win. But this really is the last election that unites the people of Kasese in terms of who should really be the political head of Kasese municipality, a fastest growing urban center, because this is a town that really sits on the foothills of Rwenzori Mountain. So if we are to boost tourism, we need a focused leader who will start looking at tourism as an engine of development in terms of accommodation, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of other amenities. So to me, a local leader, for instance, in Kasese municipality, a town that really unites Uganda to DRC, we need a person who is focused, and that person can only be selected by individuals if they are well understood the value of such a position.
Well, Kaguta, as of now, how is the environment there away from saying there isn't so much excitement in terms of security, in terms of how the campaigns have gone on. Give us a feel of exactly what is on ground.
Of course, like other areas in Castese, today we are seeing people being energized to go and really vote. The reason why people are being energized to go and vote, for them, they believe this is a position that defines their destination in terms of policies, in terms of development. Like in the past election, yes, we saw election police constables moving around. It's the same situation that we're also really witnessing. But also, if I've moved to two polling stations, I have seen people already there. You know that actually at one of the polling stations that I first went to, already the 10 first people have already registered. So the exercise has really started normally. Secondly, if you look at the turnout, it is really promising compared to the past two elections that we have held, the presidential and then the district local 5 election. So by looking of things, I believe today's turnout is going to change. One, because the security is as normal. Because I spoke to the spokesperson for Rwenzori East, that's really a Superintendent of Police, Nelson Tumushime. He told me that in the past two elections, Kasese district has not registered any bigger security issue. So we suspect and we hope that even today's election is going to be a good one, given the number of people who are really turning up in big numbers. Because you can even look at long queues of voters who are coming to show their right through having a leader they think can answer a number of questions in terms of health, in terms of education, in terms of business, because this is a business hub that unites Uganda to DRC. They're about 67 kilometers from here to the Democratic Republic of Congo border. So if you don't feel come and vote today, you will be denying yourself a connection between Uganda and DRC in terms of business, because most of the business activities that are being carried out here in Kasese town are really from DRC. People go there for plantain gonja, people go there for palm oil, people go there for a number of activities, especially in this particular area. So if you see what is happening right now, tells you that the exercise is going to be a success, given the number of people that are really lining up to cast their vote.
Okay, Joel, from the people you have interacted with, and maybe from your own analysis, do you think the campaigns of these sub-county leaders have gained some ground or momentum as compared to the MPs and the presidential campaigns? Do people know what they are voting for? Do the electorate know that I'm supposed to be voting for this person on this day, or it is just some sort of publicity that is going on there in that area?
Yeah. You see, the election of the presidential candidate seemingly was a success, although it had some delays. But if you compare the presidential and the district local council 5 elections, you'll see that there was a huge gap because people didn't really turn up for the district leadership. But also maybe something that's really a little bit specific for Kasese municipality is that the main opposition political parties, that's really the FDC, who initially controlled which controlled Kasese municipality for a couple of years, have almost lost everything. So they have to them they believe they have a capable leader, one who won in 2021 election, and they want this person to maintain this office. But also, if they lose this one today, that means in the political spectrum of Castese, they will not be having any person to hang on. So they have actually mobilized each voter in Kasese municipality to ensure that they turn up in big numbers. But leaving that aside, even other political parties like the NRM, they want also to have this particular post because they have won all the other posts. The presidential, the number of voters increased by actually from 100 to to about 130. Also, the members of parliament, initially in 2016, Kasese district was actually painted blue, including Kasese municipality. That's when we have Centenary Robert as a member of parliament for this particular electoral area. So in 2021, the party lost that position, but they maintained the mayor on their side as FDC. So they know if they don't really turn up in big numbers, they are likely to lose it. But even other political parties like NRM, they want to have this particular post. But as well, if the National Unity Platform has also really is going to participate in this election for the first time to have a candidate for the mayoral seat.
All right.
As well as PFF is also weighing in for their very first time. So it's really it's a very competitive race today. So all the political parties have mobilized their members to come and exercise their right.
All right. Thank you very much, Joel Kaguta from Kasese. That was a very detailed explanation and picture you painted for us then. We totally do appreciate you. Definitely looking forward to hearing from you in the aftermath of the events, each event as they transpire. Thank you so much and good morning. Now, let me start with John, with what has been given us.
Okay.
I feel it's so detailed and there's a lot of rich analysis in there. What are your 2 cents in just a minute?
Of course, the end justifies the means. We shall see the best candidate win. But what I've liked about Kasese is that it looks like people have been educated about voting. Yes. And also the political play among the multiple parties that is ongoing. We've seen NOP for the first time, yet we know Kasese has been a strong for FDC. So I think Kasese with the sub-county, though he mentioned that at division level, the voters did not turn out in very good numbers, which is not only the case there, because even other areas like in Chikube, voting at the district level, there were very few voters. Out of over 144,000 voters, only 44,000 voters, registered voters turned out to vote for the district leadership. So Kasese is a place to look out for here at the sub-county elections today.
Indeed, and we definitely applaud Kasese, the citizens of Uganda based in Kasese, for paying that heed and being so solid in regards to their local council elections. Robert, in just a minute, what do you make of this analysis?
The fact that they have polling stations that are already voting.
Yes, I know, right, yes.
I think that is something to commend them.
Right.
But also Kasese is unique. Previously it was an opposition stronghold, more so FDC. But when we look at the outcomes of the parliamentary mayor race, they show that NRM is sweeping.
I mean, Crispus Kionga got to go back.
Yes, it's sweeping at all levels. So are these elections going to change things? We'll wait and see. Will the opposition again resurface? Or will the NRM totally, like Kaguta said, when he said this is the only election that they're remaining with as opposition, so they are giving it almost their all to see that they scoop something out there. Let's wait and see at the end of the day, but that awareness and desire to participate is something we must really commend the people of Kasese.
Exactly.
Yes.
Indeed, and definitely with that, indeed, another applause to the people of Kasese, because this is different, but also an insight into the fact that while in Kampala here, a lot of noise is being made about a particular political parties, and a particular picture is being painted out of Kampala, out in upcountry places. The political scene is rather different. The story is totally different. It's a flip side. It's a whole total change.
It's true, because when you look at some of the things there, when you look at West Nile, actually NRM swept most of the electoral seats there.
Indeed.
And compared to these other regions, or to the previous
But even their
elections,
politics, their political play and calculations, they are rather different. How, members of these local council areas, how educated or sensitized they are, and how serious they take these matters, and how critical they are when it comes to their voting. It's something to look into. But on the other side of the call, we do have Sula Kagugube. He is getting to us from Entebbe municipality. Sula, good morning.
Yes, good morning. my sister.
Indeed, so good to hear from you once again. What's the situation like in Entebbe municipality at the sub-county elections for today?
Well, thank you so much. Good morning, our viewer. Unlike the previous election, the municipality election in Entebbe municipality seems to be tense. Of course, in the record, the jury of which mind in Entebbe municipality, akaluka aba mayor kano, kabaka unkenke nyono kusinga akaba president.
Rachi, embeera lwaki eri bwetyo?
Embeera akalukano okosi okuvira ddala mu kalwakagwa aka 2021 bavuganya okuvuganya kuba kw'amaanyi nnyo ate ne babaawo ekyafaayo kitulina okumanya nti ekisookera ddala abavuganya bali bataano mu bano mulimu Fabrice Linda Brad ono nga ye meeya aliyo mu kiseera kino era ng'ate yakwasida ekibiina kya NRM bbendera so buli mutadde ku bbali waliwo munne bwe bali nnyo ku mbeera nje bamuyita Mike Mutebe Kabwama nnyama yalwo ono yavuganya naye era mu kalwakaggwa aka 2021 nga Michael Kabwama ye yali NRM flag bearer ebintu byagenda okuwunzika obwetinga ate awanguddwa Fabrice Linda ne wakwate nga balina abalanga bataano mu race eyo ng'ogyeko ono Kabwama waliwo abalala abavuganya mu bibiina ebirala waliwo omupya ono yabadde ssentebe wa division B Richard Sekondo kakati ate kati yakwasida ekibiina kya National Unity Platform bendera naye nga kyenjagala okutegeezaako mwanyinaze n'omulabe wa UBC TV nti emberanyi ey'amaanyi eri wakati wa Michael Mutebi nnyama yalwo ne Fabrice Linda olw'okuba nti olutalo lwabwe lulinga olulikagenderere okuvira ddala mu kalukali nga buli omu ategeeza munne nti nkusinga sikusinga so obunkenke buba bw'amaanyi nnyo naddala mu balonzi nti effujjo liba ly'amaanyi okuva ku njuyi zombiriri nti buli omu aba n'abawagizi oba gurupu y'abantu abawagizi nga bakola effujjo ku gurupu endala so gye biggwera okosi ogenda okulaba nga embeera etali nnungi eyingiddewo ng'ogyeko abo waliwo n'ekibiina kya Democratic Front kino nakyo kyalese omwami bamuyita Kalubwama Deo saako n'ekibiina kya kya DP kyalese gwe bayita Umar Shafik ono Umar Shafik naye mu rekodi oba mu byafaayo by'Entebbe nti azze avuganya enfunda eziwerako ku kifo kino newankubadde ngeri tebigenda bulungi naye olunaku lweggulo twayogeddeko naye n'ategeeza nti bwe kataligirya ku mulundi guno ekibiina kya DP ate kiyinza okuvaayo n'obuwanguzi mu kiseera kino of course ebirondesa bitandise okutuuka mu bifo ebitali bimu newakubadde nga abalonzi babadde tebannaba kutandika kutuuka naye nga tusuubira akalulu kano olw'okuba nti bannantebe basize bakeesunga okuva olunaku lw'eggulo wamu n'abawagizi b'abantu abeesimbyewo bano so oyinza okukirowoozaamuko nti mu ssaawa ng'emu okuva kati oba eddakiika 3 embeera eyinza okukyukamuko kubanga bw'oyitaayita n'otunulatunula ku nguudo okwawukanako n'akalulu ke twakamaliriza kano nti ebyokwerinda ate kati bikedde okunywezebwa kubanga kyo buli muntu ayita Entebbe akimanyi nti akalulu k'obwa meeya buno kaba ka bunkenke nnyo effujjo liba ly'amaanyi nnyo era nga buli muntu aba akeesunga ko n'abandi ate okusigala ewaka kubanga baba bati ebiyinza okuddiira so tugenda kuba tuka ku gulawundi buli wamu tujja kuba twongera okutegeeza omulabi wa UBC TV okutegeeza ebigenda mu maaso okuggyako mwanyinaze nga olina ekirala kyoyagala okumanya okusinga saawa
yesebo tukyalina ebibuuzo
Sula gwenga ali mu saidi zeeyo Entebbe enteekateeka ki gy'olaba bw'ebanga waliwo yonna egenda maaso abesimbyewo gye bayinza okuba nga bataddewo okusobola okuba nga abalonzi bano bagenda ne bakusuula obululu bwabwe lwa nsonga nti tulabye ku district level abalonzi abasinga ebyokulonda babivaako ne besuulayo bannagamba
neyeza mwanyinaze olunaku lw'eggulo obwedda bayisaamu ebizindaalo sensitization yabadde y'amaanyi mu bavuganya oyinza eyabadde ayitamu obuyisi ng'oyinza okulowooza oba lunaku lwakuba kampeyini naye ngeri lyonna yabadde emu kabonero kakukuyiga bantu kubajjukiza kwetaba mu kulonda kuno saako n'okweraga eryanyi kubanga emmotoka eya Michael Mutebi obwedda bweyitamu n'emizindaalo ogenda okulaba eya Fabrice naye eyiseemu ng'ejjukiza balonzi kale nga kikulagira ddala waliwo ekigenda okugenda mu maaso olunaku olwaleero era okwawukanako n'akalulu kano akawedde akalulu kano kayinza okujjumbirwa bw'oba oli awo kubanga g'amaanyi gaba ga njawulo nnyo obukozi ng'ogyeko ekyokuba nti kalulu naye kibanga omuntu oli gw'ogamba nti ono mukulinako ekiruyi onsobola sikusobola eryanyi liba ly'amaanyi nnyo era ng'essaawa yonna tujja kuba tukutegeeza mwannyinaze ebisinga ku ebyo naye nga bba abantu ku mulundi guno bateekeddwa bulungi ne babajjukizibwa okujja kutulinda bulinzi kulaba nti bajjumbira okulonda kuno oba kisigala kyekimu nga ekiwedde.
Ssebo oyogedde nnyo ku kalulu kano nti kankizo nnyo mu bannantebe era kaba kabbugumu nnyo naye ate bwe tutunulira mu bitundu ebirala si bwe guli. Abantu bamala okulonda president n'ababaka baabwe balonze okulonda okwazeeko ebbugumu likendeddemu mu bitundu ebisinga. Lwaki entebe kano ate kaba kabbugumu n'okusingako obwa member of parliament ne president?
Neeyanziza nnyo muganda wange kaakati okuzzaayo mu kalulu ka 2021 Fabrice Linda yajja n'avuganya ku kwada ya NRM n'awangulwa Michael Mutebi nyama yalwe. Kaakati mu kuwangulwa kalulu kano yali n'abalala bavuganya baali abantu nga 6. So Michael Mutebi amaanyi gaali mangi nnyo kugamba ono n'asalawo okujja nga independent. Bannantebe bonna essuubi lyali mu Michael Mutebi era nga tebasuubira mu yakuba ekiseera ekyo yali mu na NRM nga tebasuubira nti ayinza okubaako n'ekikyukamu kyonna kyonna. So bamala okulonda mu ntebe of course ebyalangirwa byonna ebyava mu ntebe nga biraganga Kabwama bwakoze bwawangudde akalulu k'obwa meeya naye bigenda okutuuka ewakiso gye byaggwera buli muntu yasigala yeewunya okulaba nga ate gwebadde batafaako oba independent Fabrice Linda ate yawangudde ekifo ky'obwa meeya. Okuva n'olwo n'okutuuka leero buli muntu kyamwewuunyisa. Kaakati ate bano abavuganya Fabrice yennyini ne Michael Mutebi saako n'abala ne kabanga akafuusa akakuku ne lubanga olutalo lwennyini kwegamba emyaka 5 egiweddeko buli omu nga yeewerera munne nti kankulinda emyaka 5 wegiggwerako ddemu zaabika emipiira so nga ate n'ono agamba nange nkulinze. Ate n'ekirala nti abawagizi bali ne basigala nga nabo bakukuluma bagamba yibo oba oli awo newaffe ate nabano nabo ne babeera n'abeera n'abawagizi nga nabo bagamba naffe katulinde twongere okulaga bano tebalinayo bayinza kutukwata. So embeera nyina eba nga y'amaanyi nnyo tewaliwo ngeri ya bukkanyo bakutuula kwogerezeganya ng'abavuganya. Kyova olaba ne ku mulundi guno Michael Mutebi bwe yakomyewo okusaba fulaga ya NRM era gye byaggweredde ng'ate azzemu n'awangulwa kwegamba olutalo ne lukulira ddala awo. So mu bufunze abantu abo babiri tebali makambugu oba kampu ezo zonna ne bwaba muwagizi n'asanga omuwagizi woono bw'aba tewaliwo kiyinza kubataasa oyinza okufundikira nga embeera tetambudde bulungi.
Mu bufunze nnyo kino kitegeeza ki era ebyokwerinda byeteeseteese etya kubanga onyonyodde nti abawagizi obutali makambugu abeesimbi obutali makambugu eyo embeera ya bunkenke. Olowooza ab'ebyokwerinda beeteeseteese ekimala okwaŋŋanga embeera yonna eyinza okubaawo newankubadde ffe wano tusaba abantu okubeera abakakkamu.
Of course byebyokwerinda mu ntebe municipality akalu kano muganda wange nga bwekutegeezeza buli omwaka manyi ate ku mulundi guno nti bigenda kuba mu byajawulo ekirala kyembadde neerabidde okutegeezaako bano abavuganya Fabrice Linda kubanga bali 5 bano ba independent saako n'abebibiina ebirala twabaddeko nabo olunaku lweggulo ne bategeeza eggwanga nga bwe basazeewo abantu 4 okulwanyisa omuntu omu era enkya ya leero bafunye emmotoka emu bonna mwe bagenda okutambulira naye ng'ekigendererwamu ekyo kulwanyisa bye balaba bitatambula bulungi mu kalulu kano okutuusa nga bo tebayise okulaba nga bajjeeyo ono mu ntebe waakiri omu ku baagendeyo. So ndowooza kikulaga muganda wange n'omulabi waffe nti olutalo luno lukyagenda mu maaso kubanga abantu abanaamu ne bavayo ne bagamba twegatte tulwanyise omuntu omu emmotoka nga batambuliramu emu nti bwe babaawo of course polling stations nnyingi bwe babulira nti waliwo ebitagenda bulungi nga basobola okutambula wamu nti singa ab'ebyokwerinda bavayo ne baagala okukwatako kandidenti omu tebajja kukkiriza nga bagamba waakiri mutwale ffenna ensi yonna erabe nti mulese omuntu omu yakola ki yavuganya naye bukosi kati eyo embeera iba yakutiisatiisa bw'oba olabyemuko ab'ebyokwerinda bajja kukola omulimu gwabwe. So ekyo kireetawo obunkenke mu kitundu saako n'ebbugumu ery'amaanyi mu kalulu kano kale nga buli omu alindiridde okulaba bwe binaatambula.
Kale ssebo tweyanziza nnyo Sula Kagugube okuva Entebbe tujja kuba tukuddira.
Kale manyira.
All right, that is Sula Kagugwe from Entebbe Municipality. He's been giving us an update of what the environment is like on that side, and my goodness, it feels like we are back to 15th January all over again when it comes to Entebbe. And I really do hope and pray that ultimately, by end of today, no one has lost a life in Entebbe or no one has been injured.
I just want to urge the youth not to engage in acts of violence, because at the end of the day, the candidates are safer.
Yes.
And you're putting yourself in harm's way. Not forgetting the Entebbe houses, State House, Entebbe. So and not to forget also that our national airport, our international airport is in Entebbe. So its location cannot warrant you to cause chaos or mess and easily go. You may end up in hot soup.
But there is something interesting, and I was wondering, Fabrice Ruhinda, previously, 2021, when they went for the primaries, NRM primaries, he lost and he came as an independent and he won the seat. This time around, the same thing has happened. Michael Kabwama is the flag bearer for the NRM. Why wouldn't the party structures have a way of harmonizing these people before even the primaries? Because it is evident that Fabrice Ruhinda previously was the people's favorite, and that's why they voted him into office. So why would they put themselves into a target of going under the same thing? They are all NRM people. So why couldn't they harmonize before even the primaries get to be carried out or done? And the other thing is the opposition candidates who are even wanting to use one car. Why didn't they focus all their energy and gears in fronting one person? The four of them, than, you know, splitting all these votes among the four. Because at the end, we are seeing they've decided to collaborate and stand as one. So why did the rest withdraw from the rest?
You've heard Kagugube say that at this last minute, they've decided at least one of them would rather go to take that position than Ruhinda taking
Then why didn't the rest withdraw? There are three
matters of politics.
This is a funny thing with politics. First, why the NRM did not consult these people. Now, NRM set up a tribunal. If you felt cheated in the primaries, you could address your issues. And the rulings came out. I don't know if any of those petitioned. But also, there is a challenge. We remember when the president was urged to intervene between Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development and the Minister for Health. These are all ministers. But he said, no, let the people decide. So as long as we still have a law that favors independence, any person who feels, and the party doesn't have measures of punishing, that one would feel I'm losing so much, that I'm losing so much, more so when he is winning, even without the party ticket. So that becomes a problem. Now, for the opposition, at the last minute, I think when I listen to him, they believe that this person could have tactics of rigging.
Yes.
Now, they want to move, not because they feel even if they don't, one of them should make it, but they feel let's all safeguard our vote together. When you are moving and you are told at this polling station there's an issue and all of us are there, it will be hard to whisk away one or arrest the other, because we shall be standing in solidarity. That's what they are aiming for, not to say that...
So they formed a coalition.
Yes, to protect. Because I remember when he said that, I think in 2021, they believed some candidate was leading. But the way things stand, they didn't accept. They are not satisfied. So they feel, this time around, let's protect our vote together.
Interesting definition of kabanje, kakume. Kalondo. I know. But Robert, from the conversations that we've had from Joel in Kasese and Sula in Entebbe, do you think political parties matter at this stage?
Well, the just concluded election of presidential, parliamentary, and the other ones we've just concluded, district, have shown that the power of political parties has not helped candidates so much in some areas. Look at areas that were predominantly NUP.
Of some political parties.
Some political parties that have been taken. And you may be sure that some areas that were NRM, may could have been taken. So riding on power. Now, when you go to the electorate themselves, to me at this point, political parties don't matter, but ability. The only problem is that this election is the election where you must elect people with no ability. It has no academic qualification. You know that you must have attained this. I've sat in some of councils, and when you look at the councillors that are discussing, deliberating issues,
you feel sorry for the voters.
You feel sorry for the voters. They don't know their role. And this election is very dangerous because it is where people invest not knowing what they are going to earn. Apart from Kampala. But those areas, a person gets in power and says, "Kwe, is this what we are getting?"
Last week, we got an opportunity to host Mr. Semakula from the initiative, Alliance Initiative of Mayors. And some of the pointers he made, the statements he made that stood out for me was, number one, the fact that at the level of local government, political parties don't matter. They might matter at presidential and parliament.
That's true, that's true.
But at the local government, political parties do not matter. And he said that what matters most is the ability of this leader to deliver services. And that means that as you're voting for someone, you should look into their personality.
But Julie...
Their nature. If you look at the Lord Mayor-elect, his personality, his nature, his charisma.
Let me just ask a quick one to Julie. I want to put a quick one to Julie. If you look at councillors that are standing at this level, you know, from presidential, mayor, when we go down, professionals, people of experience, people of ability, very few stand at these positions, by the way. Very few.
That's true.
Is it because
they look at members of parliament, presidential, and maybe mayor?
And LC5.
And LC5, rightly said. But from here, in some areas you want...
And just to add to what you've said, he went ahead to say that as a society, you are who you vote. So whoever is in that place of leadership, that person is a reflection of you as a society, as that community, as that village, as that sub-county, the person representing you.
Sometimes we have no alternative.
Something funny, someone said, even before we had the presidential elections and MPs, and someone made statements, may everyone bear children with the characters of the candidate they are willing to vote.
Wow, shots fired.
But sometimes, Julie and Joan, the basket gives us no option.
No options.
The people who come, they are 5, you look at them, or they are 6, you look at them. The Julies, the Joans have shunned.
We undermine such positions. Is that what you're
I wonder if
now you look at what has come.
I wonder if
and what you're to choose from.
Exactly, Robert. These statements are so right because even when you go that the incumbents, you look at your councillor. I'm like, oh, okay.
I wonder if the English phrase,
people who are unemployed. You want a person who is unemployed, abera ku kyalo okwo.
Councillor.
But I wonder if the English phrase that we were spoiled for choice now makes sense because many times we are spoiled for choice out of having a lot of good things available for you and you do not know what to leave, what to take because it's all good.
It could lead to voter fatigue, by the way.
Yeah, but now I don't know if we are spoiled for choice in the sense of everything is bad. We would not take it.
We need to urge.
By mandate, there must be someone.
We need to see the Joans, the Julies, we need to see doctors, the engineers, the corporate class go for these positions.
Yes.
Otherwise, when you move around communities, I've seen, you ask councillor, but what exactly does the councillor do? He doesn't know what he does or she. When you go to their councils where discussing and deliberating on issues, you find they don't have ability to understand these issues. So you've chosen people at very critical electoral offices. Go to chairman LCs in the village.
You know, you mentioned something, Robert, about even the qualifications to become a sub-county leader. And indeed, we need to ponder on if they are so responsible in service delivery. One, the media rarely publicizes the proceedings at sub-county level. So I think that is why we even end up sending unqualified leaders, because we don't know what is happening there.
We undermine
the proceedings,
positions,
exactly,
yes.
the proceedings.
Yet they are very vital.
Exactly. So I think it all boils down to the Electoral Commission and even the corporate people, like you have said. Let's be immersed in all these responsibilities.
Right. Now, let me ask the both of you, each one of you is giving me their perspective. Do you think that passionate leaders at this level still exist?
Robert,
they might not be as exposed as the people, the type of people we are talking about to contest for these positions, but they are passionate about leading, about change, and they're willing to learn, but maybe on job, I don't know, in some form or shape. But do you think passionate leaders at the local government level still exist, or many of them are all about themselves, for God, and not even God, God can't stand for that, but for themselves and their stomachs?
I want to say there could be a few that still exist, people who come to serve and transform their communities. There could be a few, but majority of them, it is all about the finances. Yet when they get there, that's when how much they invested in campaigns and how much they are getting in these positions, then they become discouraged and end up not working for the people. Because
but also even I think many of their contemporaries or their mates are opposition to them. While they're thinking of developmental ideas, while they're thinking you can't do it on your own, at the end of the day, it requires
But also many even don't know what they are meant to do. I've told you, I used to sit in a number of councils, now point one at Kawempe. And when you would get there, these people would always demonstrate over allowances. Almost every council, I think by then it was Takuba or something, you would see him plead and say, but you people, we came to serve the people. So here there's so much excitement, given that there's not much required for you. And sometimes people go in there, promise a lot, but when they get there, what they are earning does not bring out what they invested. Therefore, they lose interest, they don't serve, they become, you can ask people, what does your councillor do? Do they even know that, do you see them because they're nearest to you? Pick your challenges, take them to council, forward issues in the chain they should. You'll find that many of them don't know, cannot articulate issues properly.
You find them blaming a councillor for not helping out in court over someone who was imprisoned.
No, someone was saying, councillor atajayo bantu ku police. You know, so there's so much.
There is a lot with this.
Uganda is interesting. John, what's your perspective?
I think most of these sub-county leaders look at these positions as a solution to unemployment. That is why Robert talked about people striking and protesting over delayed allowances, or even sitting allowances.
Refusing to come. Kawempe here during Takuba's time.
And also from the people I've seen as councillors at sub-county, most of them just want to boast around. Is a councillor Gundi, I made it to Mulabi at a function, she waves, and like, oh, okay, I'm the one. And they are not really passionate about service delivery because they don't know what they're going to do there.
Right.
Like I said, most of them see it as a solution to unemployment. Right. And of course, that is why you find that the few people who turn out to vote send unqualified people. So if few people have voted this person, this leader is going to be less accountable to society. Because I'll tell you, it's just 15 people that voted for me. So why is a mammoth of a crowd asking for accountability from me? You didn't vote for me. So I think it's just about to whom it may concern at the sub-county level.
And I think that also informs our civic education as a country. It's needing, and it needs to be reinstated. It needs to be driven from primary school, from school level, from the lowest level there is, even if it's family level, where each family is given a mandate to teach children about these things.
But the government, Julie, does it also add substance to these leaders? Or once they elected,
it
is also done with them. What has the government done to empower these leaders?
Right.
And she mentioned a very important topic. A very important issue. Government must also invest in these leaders. Look at the chairman LC1. This man doesn't get a salary. But at the end of the year, I think government gives them 120,000.
That is 10,000.
End of year or monthly?
Yes.
End of year, that is 10,000 per month.
And of which there was a promise.
That is a very vital office.
To be increased to
Now, when we look at these councils at this level, what their mandate is and how much is given to them also befits sometimes their ability.
And that's why, Robert, we find things like you're selling a plot of land and the chairperson is asking for 10% of whatever you're selling.
Why don't you give him the 10%?
Why must I give him?
He has an office to run.
With 10% on my
money?
So
ideally, in other words,
I'm a member of a LC.
Yes.
In other words,
in Kampala, that is much India, Mubarak. Now, we pay an officer chairman.
From your individual money?
Yes, the committee finds a way of getting that money. The office must have furniture. Because you're not going to come at the chairman's home.
Have you seen the furniture in those OLC one?
Whatever it is.
In other words, I think what John is trying to say is the fact that if government sorted these issues, there would be no need for local council chairpersons to be as highly corrupt in asking or swindling money, especially in regards to land matters and cases.
Because that 10%...
If there was that empowerment, certain things wouldn't be asked
Exactly.
for.
Yeah, and we would even attach meaning to these local leaders. But if I know, why would I even give importance?
What are you giving back to your village? You've sold land. Give the 10% to the LC, so that they run the affairs of the village. Sometimes you don't have enough security. That chairperson LC1, some people, you're calling this man in, this woman out all the time.
If it is properly accounted for, I completely agree. But if it is for the chairman's bag...
We call for meetings, people in towns, you don't turn up. Village meetings or Chico Rachel. We don't see you, the elite there. The ones we see
when I bring my policies, you will say
no, the ones that, let me tell you, we've called for these village meetings,
Very
Julie.
Interesting.
That drunkards, that ghetto youth see.
They're the ones who turn up.
And you also can, you're going to address now man in a government. Why would I give such people accountability?
Wow, let's bring this conversation to a close. In just a few, we'll be having more of this conversation about the sub-county elections with the experts from 3N Consultants who are mandated by the Electoral Commission to carry out voter education, which is very important for you to understand voter education in regards to your sub-county. Why are you supposed to vote anyways? We'll be right back.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
The Senior Citizens Grant under the Social Assistance Grants for Empowerment SAGE program is Uganda's social protection flagship program, providing regular, predictable, and reliable direct income support to older persons. Since inception in 2010, the SAGE program has positively impacted beneficiaries' livelihoods, contributing to the overall national socio-economic transformation. The government of Uganda has continued to fulfill its commitment to the expansion and sustainability of the SAGE program, ensuring income security, dignity, and improved basic standard of living for older persons in all local governments across the country.
Nze Sospita Narwogo Kasale Village Gombolola Magada Munamutumba. Chairman w'ekyalo ye yambuulira nti bagenda okubawa ensimbi ez'abakadde. Omanyi olw'obukadde bwange sijjukira ddi lwe natandika naye ebbanga liwezeeko nga nzifuna kumpi emirundi ng'ena, guno gwakuna. Mbadde neebalamu embuzi 2 naye olwaleero wano wenjogerera ziri 4 kubanga olwaleero emu gye nasooka okugula ezadde 2 yinza okufunamu ente. Nali agadde ku nnyumba yange okwongerako akasenge. Njagala okwebaza Museveni emirundi mingiko. Kale olwaleero nno nina embuzi 4 okuva mu ssente Museveni zampa. Okulya, ndya, ninywa. Sibulwa sukaali n'amajaani n'amata. Amata ga buli lunaku ngafuna wano gama 2 ekyeggulo. Bwe ntyo.
This is a message from Expanding Social Protection, ESP, implementing the program under the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. ESP, better life chances for all.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Junko.
Yo.
What you check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Joko, I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Maskari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
The first work day of the week has